was just joined.
Yeah.
For coming. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Derek Mayer, and I'll explain a bit more about myself and my background in a minute. I just want to position what we are going to do today. And it's all about how can we transform your profitability and your cash flow through making more sales and understanding how your marketing can get you more sales within your business. So let's kick off, if you don't mind. My goal today is to challenge the way you think. I'm going to disrupt you slightly. I'm probably going to give you some new ways of selling your business or selling your product or your service, especially through digital marketing, which in the next 45 minutes, ladies and gents, I can only touch upon. But I am going to challenge the way you think and give you some new insights and new perspectives, what you may be doing right now to get sales. Let me ask you this. Is it okay to fail? So can I ask everyone to just make sure the chat box is open, please? Because I'm going to ask you quite a few questions today. So if everyone can open up the chat box and answer this question. Is it okay to fail? So type your answers in the chat box. Yes or no, is it okay to fail? Yep, says Damon. Yes. So it looks like a unanimous yes so far from everyone. Hands up, anyone who's not failed at something. Hands up in the chat box. No, everyone's failed at something, guys. So I don't perceive I've actually failed at anything in my life. I've just ran out of ways to get it better, and I've learned some very, very valuable lessons. It's never a failure. It's only a lesson that you learn and you can take forward. You take more value from things that you've failed on than you do things you succeed on. So personally, I strive for failure. You know, I'll never succeed greatly unless I'm at least willing to fail greatly. And if I fail greatly, learn the lesson and move on. And a lot of sales and marketing is about testing and measuring. What's working, what's not working. If it fails, move on quickly. So the only real failure in life, is the failure to participate. So can I just ask everyone that they're going to participate 100% in today's session and be as interactive as we possibly can. Again, type yes in the chat room, please. Good, thank you very much. Now, part of that participation, and this is a choice that you can make, guys. I would love to get feedback, seeing your face. So where you feel comfortable to do so, I would prefer you put your videos on, but it's your choice. There is no pressure to do so. It gives me feedback when I can see your face and what we're talking about. Good, thank you. Those that can put it on. Yeah, a bit about me. I spent 20 years in the corporate world before coming into the SME world itself. And I lived in 4 continents. And each of those continents, within the corporate I was working with, I started up manufacturing operations. I don't know if many of you remember Micron in East Kilbride, just over the Peel Park campus. I started that up with 4 other gentlemen in the year 2000. I then moved to Malaysia, I moved to the Caribbean, and then I moved to the USA, always starting up new manufacturing operations. So I have literally built high performance teams all over the world. Literally. Some of my other roles in the corporate world was heading up sales and marketing. I was customer support director for the European, Middle East and African region, which surprised the hell out of me because I'm an operations guy. Why do you want someone in operations to do sales? And the reason was that the marketing managers, the sales managers were promising what the operations couldn't deliver. They were over promising, and we as a company, it's a $6 billion company, so pretty big, was under delivering. So they wanted someone in there that had that commercial acumen that could try and close that gap. So some of our customers were Nokia, Sony Ericsson, all the car manufacturers. I spent 2 years getting cameras, things that you take for granted now, into your car company. So the high power negotiations with a lot of companies. So I learned sales and marketing in a very high pressure situation. And that meant I lived in some fantastic places with my family. My family have had some fantastic experiences. My son does not have an accent. He's spent most of his time in Scotland, but he has this kind of queer, international, nondescript accent himself. He's now 28. We were 8 years old when we first started to travel. And I've also built 3 of my own 7-figure SME businesses. I don't mean my coaching companies. I mean out with my coaching companies. I'm very much an investor in property. So the companies that I've built has been built to support my investment portfolio or my investments. So 7 of my own companies, I've walked my talk. 2010, I moved on to the SME world. It was hard. It was really hard. It took me 6 months to get my first client because all of a sudden I couldn't delegate. So the challenge of sales and marketing that I learned in the corporate world, I had to apply that to the SME world. And I struggled, guys. I mean, I was watching the bank account go down and down and down with no sales coming in. So over the last 10 years, I've perfected that sales process. We now offer our services to other coaches and mentors and trainers itself so they can help. The processes I'm going to talk to you today is something we've learned and applied to hundreds of businesses over the last 12 years. But the most important thing is that you learn to live life through your business, not in spite of it. Your business, as much as you're passionate about it, your business is a vehicle to get you to where you want to go. Yes, we want to build a sustainable business that can sell and service community, but it's all about where you want to go in your business. And if you want to go places, if you want your business to give you the lifestyle that you dreamed of when you get into business, then you must be selling. Make sense to everyone? Okay, my company is Nova Leadership International. Before COVID, we did a lot of work in the corporate world in Asia, and that died. My business partner, George, is actually living in China now. He's living in Suzhou with his family from April this year. We're going to focus on the SME world, and I'm going to tell you later about Business Academy. If I cram as much value into the next half an hour as I can, would you allow me 5 minutes to explain how we're going to work with Damon and the Chamber through Business Academy? Would that be okay, guys? Can I have a thumbs up and a nod of the head? Good, I really appreciate that. Good, and there's some people still typing away. Brilliant. And we also work in the youth development world, which we'll share at some point. So I'm going to start with a few questions. When you first came on, you logged on to this Lunch and Learn. The Bartshire Chamber asked a few questions, and this was a consolidated feedback. What do you want out of today's session? So someone's exploring lead generation. How can I increase my turnover? How can I start marketing? How can I get more leads on LinkedIn? I don't know if the people on the call at the moment, I know there's 17 registered, there's a few no-shows, but I don't know if these were your inputs, but I'll certainly cover these and whatever else you guys have. So here's a question for you. I want to keep the answer short and I want to type it into the chat room. If you could only change one thing in your business in the next 3 months, you're all allowed to change one thing, improve one thing. You can't change only one thing. What would that one thing be? What would that one thing be for your business? Is it more profit, more sales, more leads, more? What is it you need more of in the next 3 months to get your business on track to where you want it to go? So again, please, 100% participation and type in getting in front of prospects. That's good, thank you. So that's marketing. How do I get in front of those prospects? More paying clients. Thank you, Michael. What else, guys? What's the one thing? If you could only change one thing, what would that one thing be? I want to make sure that I'm giving you value today and heading you towards that. Less time in the factory, Robert. Okay, that's an interesting one. That's that. We're going to cover that in 2 sessions' time. I think it's the 9th of February, Damon, isn't it? We're going to cover your time management, and next Thursday we're going to cover leadership. And both of those will give you some valuable insights how to spending less time in the factory and more time building a business or doing what you want to do. Increase profit from additional members. Great. Damon, yep, thank you very much. Okay, thank you everyone for participating. So I'm sure I'll cover those today. If I've not, hold me accountable. If I've not covered these today, hold me accountable, and I'll take you offline and I'll do it myself with you. I'll take you through it myself. Okay, next question. I want you to type in the chat what type of business you're in. What type of business you're in. Again, keep it as short as you can. I'm not asking for an elevator speech. I'm just asking you to type in the chat what type of business are you in? So type in the chat, what type of business are you in? And guys, listen, participation makes this all work for everyone. So let me thank you ahead of time for participating fully. Business coach, focusing on business growth. Great. Richard, training, fantastic. Robert, food retail. Yep. Jason, what about yourself? I know that you are IT and telecoms, Jason, is that? Yeah, IT and telecoms. Okay, none of you got it right. None of you got the right answer. That's what your business does. That's what your business does. Does everyone have a pen and paper? Does everyone have something to take notes on? If you can, please grab this, because I'm going to ask you to write some things down. So it does not matter what your business does, because that's what you told me. You are in the people business. The type of business you are in is the people business. Don't care what you do. Don't care what your service is. Don't care what your product is. You are in the people business. People are the only living things in your business. It's the only thing that's alive. Whether that be your prospects and your leads and your customers, whether it be your team, if you have a team, whether it be your supply chain. The only living thing in your business is people. Can I just check, is everyone in the call today a person? Yes. There's no aliens. We'll give Damon the benefit of the doubt, but apart from Damon, is everyone a person? So if you want to get good at sales, guys, if you want to get good at leadership, you need to understand people better. You need to be able to understand the psychology of how people buy, not how to sell. That's Carmen sell things. The psychology of how people buy, and different people buy in different ways. It's their buying behavior. And there's 4 different types of buying behavior. I'm really sorry, I don't have time to go into it in the next 45 minutes, but understand, you need to understand people behavior if you want to get better at marketing and selling. Yes, that makes sense to everyone. So remember, you're in the people business. Here's another question. If I can get my mouse to work. Okay, what I want you to answer is, what's the most important story? I'm going to share the stories with you, and I want you to write 1, 2, or 3 in the chat room. So what's the most important story as you see it? Story number 1 is the story we tell ourselves. Story number 2 is the story we tell others. Number 1, the story we tell ourselves. Number 2, the story we tell others. And number 3, the story others tell others about us. So, and there's no wrong answer, ladies and gents, no wrong answer. Which one do you think is the most important question? Can't be a wrong answer. I'm okay with it. So again, type in the chat, which one's the most important question? So Robert, number 1. Really important, Robert, I agree. So Richard says 1 and 3. And I think Eric's catching up there. Okay, so let me share. Again, guys, the story you tell yourself is really important. And the story you tell others is, of course, important to build trust and honesty and respect with everyone you work with. But the story you tell others, is all about what you say. It's what you're saying to yourself. The story you tell others is also about what you say. The story that others tell others about you is about what you do. So you need to get real clarity on what you want other people to say about your business. Get real clarity on that. What you want other people to say about your business, and live that. Make it part of your culture. Make it part of your value set. You need to live that. And I'll explain to you in a couple of minutes why that is so critically important when it comes to sales. Does that make sense to everyone? They're all important. If you're telling yourself, I can't do this, then you ain't going to be able to do that, that's for sure. But that third story is the way you can get your business out there and compound the story others tell others about you. Makes sense to everyone? So get real clarity on what you want others to tell others about you, and live it. I mean, live it with passion. Get your team, if you have one, to live it with passion. Okay, what is the most important thing you need to focus on in your business this week? Now, I'm not going to ask you to type on this. I'm going to tell you what it is. Does anyone have any idea what I'm going to tell them? What is the most important thing you need to focus on in your business this week? If you've got any idea what I'm going to say, you can type it in the chat room. If you're not, I'm going to tell you in a couple of minutes. Okay, no takers. The most important thing you need to focus on in your business this week is sales. If you want to grow your business, you need to sell. Now, being a salespeople for many people is this: I'm not a salesperson. I hear that so many times. I'm not a salesperson. And I'm okay, because that's your visualization or your interpretation of someone that you don't respect. Let me ask everyone else this. Does your product or service provide a solution to your clients or customers, and are you passionate about it? Give me a thumbs up. Does your product or service provide a solution that will make a difference to your client's life, that will help them, that will overcome some pain, that will give them some kind of pleasure, that will take them to where they want to go, and are you passionate about it? Give me a thumbs up. Has everyone got a thumbs up? I want to see the thumbs, guys. Then why would you not want your clients to be part of that? It's not about becoming a salesperson. It's about delivering your product and service with passion. So where should the sales process start? Where do you think it should start? Hands up, marketing. Is it marketing? Where does the sales process start? What do we have to do first to get sales, or where should we start to get sales? Okay, Robert, appreciate that. Where else? Where else? Where should you start to get sales? Any takers? Type it into the chat box if you know where to start. Who thinks marketing? Let's go and get new prospects. Hands up. Is that where we start? Everyone's thinking I'm going to trick them again. I'm not. You'll be shocked where you start, ladies and gentlemen. Where you start is with your current customers. Where you start is with your current customers. You've already sold to those customers. Assuming you have created a fantastic service or given them a fantastic service, then that's where you start. If you think right now how many customers you have, and probably 20% of those customers are going to be A-class, really good customers of yours, how many referrals have you had from those customers? How many testimonials or case studies have you had from those customers? You should at least have 2 referrals from each A-class customer. Hands up quickly who asks for referrals and who doesn't ask for referrals. Who asks for referrals? Hands up. Well done. Well done, Eric. Jason, well done. For those that don't, probably some of the biggest challenges, I know there's some coaches and consultants to them as well. I think everyone's service-based here, apart from perhaps Robert, who obviously is a pure roaster. But everyone tends not to position asking for referrals right up front. I do. In my sales process, I'm asking my clients, look, when you come on board and we do a good job and you start to see some real results in the next couple of months, would it be okay if I ask you for a referral to some other business owner that you know? What do you think 100% of people say? Say yes. Now you have to live up to that expectation. But sales start with your current customers. What would you have to do in your business for your current customers to say, regardless of price, why would I go anywhere else? Customer service is simply marketing. The point of customer service, I call it customer experience, but the point of customer experience is to turn your best customers into your best salespeople. That is the whole point of it. When you build a referral-based business, you're going to skyrocket. So again, I want everyone just to think for a minute, what experience do your customers have in dealing with you? What experience do your prospects have dealing with you? Do they walk away and say, wow? Or do they walk away and say, yeah, that was disappointing? Put yourself in the customer's shoes through your sales process, through your service process, and just ask, What are they experiencing? If it ain't wow, it needs to become wow. So start your sales with your current customers. Keep in touch with them, ask them referrals, ask them for testimonials. You cannot service your clients, guys, until you can sell them. Sales are the most important thing in your business this week, the most important thing in your business next week, and the most important thing in your business the week after that, and so on and so on. Now, I know Robert's already mentioned that I don't have time to do all that. That's why you need to leverage. That's why you need to leverage your business. So I want everyone to draw in their paper 3 bubbles, 3 circles. And I want the first circle to represent the amount of focus that you put on your operations, the operational side of your business. What size is it take up notes? It should be a really big circle, presumably for everyone. When I say operations, I mean, you know, servicing clients, getting your products out there to clients. What's the size of your operation bubble? Then you want to draw 2 other bubbles, and I want you to make the size in relation to the operations bubble. So let's say you've got a huge operations bubble. What size of bubble represents your marketing against your operations bubble, your operations circle? What size of bubble represents the focus you're putting on your sales and marketing? Now, for most businesses, it's far smaller, far, far smaller. And I also want you to include a 3rd bubble, that we're not going to talk about today, but it's your financial management. What size of bubble is your financial management compared to your operations bubble and compared to your sales and marketing bubble? Now, I anticipate that most of those bubbles are different sizes, folks. If you want to get your business to where you want to go, all 3 bubbles must be of equal size. All 3 bubbles must be of equal size. But Derek, I don't have time to put my effort into sales and marketing. I don't have time to put my effort into financial management of the company. That is where you have to leverage. So let me show you how I've leveraged my sales and marketing. This is in the Business Academy side. So this team focuses on the SME portion of it. This is my sales and marketing team. Cost me thousands each month to employ them. How many of them do you think are directly employed by me? How many are directly employed by me? Hands up if you think all of them. 0. 0 of them are employed by me. They're retained by me to do my sales and marketing. Now, I know that, okay, you have to get to a stage where you can pay thousands of pounds a week. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways, because it's what you asked for. I'm going to show you a couple of ways how you can leverage digital marketing so that, look, most people tell me I want to generate leads while asleep, and you can. But firstly, you have to learn to generate leads and prospects and sell them while you're awake. I promise you can generate leads while you're asleep. You have to learn to do it while you're awake, first of all. And that means a wee bit of effort. You put a wee bit of effort in to build your digital marketing, and I promise you that you will start to generate leads. And again, in our Business Academy, we take you through that. We show you how to build that. Step by step, this is how you build that. So it's how you leverage, and you can still leverage even if you don't have time right now, I can promise you. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 groundbreaking strategies. This is a bonus. We did not promise that. One thing I did promise, actually, before we go on, is cash flow. So again, if you're having problems with cash flow, it's a marketing issue. So if I draw this sine wave, guys, if I draw this sine wave, this is everyone's marketing, or it's certainly most people's marketing out there. Sorry, cash flow. This is everyone's cash flow. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. What happens when the cash flow is in a down cycle? What do most businesses do in a down cycle when the cash flow is low? Out there, what do? Type in the chat box if you know what to do. Most businesses, when the cash flow is in a downflow, they all do something. What do they start to do? They start to market. Oh, I need to go and get more leads. I need to get out there and get more clients. I need more customers. And then cash flow is pretty good. What do? What do they do when cash flow is good? What do they stop doing? They stop marketing. And this is the cash flow cycle of most businesses out there. It's up and down, up and down. You need at the heart of your business a consistent marketing and sales machine. And you can build that. You don't need 10 marketing and sales machines. You don't need 10 different channels. You need one. Once you've got one, keep it running forever, and then you can move on. But if you want predictable cash flow, you need to have consistent and never-ending marketing. And I know, look, I'm not a marketer, Derek. I've never learned. That's a problem. Most people who start businesses have started it through a skill they have or a passion they have. And then they have to market. And then they have to deal with teams. And then they have to deal with finances. Where do you actually go to learn how to run a real world business? And that's what Business Academy does. Teach you real world strategies, how to implement those strategies to get you to where you want to go. So, predictable cash flow, you need a marketing machine that never ends. So let me give you these very quickly, these 3 groundbreaking strategies that, look, I know this will help your income. So groundbreaking strategy number 1. Let me ask a question first of all. Who knows, who tell me what marketing is? Type in the chat room. What is marketing? What actually is marketing? Again, there's no wrong answer to that. I'm not trying to catch anyone out. But type in the chat, what is marketing? What have you been told, or what do you perceive marketing is? Just have a quick type in the chat if you don't mind, just to participate so we can all get an understanding. What is marketing? Identify the needs of your customers and meet them effectively. Yeah, I agree, Damien. Yep, 100%. Absolutely. What else marketing? Who thinks marketing is mostly putting your product service in front of customers? Yep, absolutely. Yep. Understand your product meets the market needs. Yeah, guys, I've heard it a million times. A million times. It ain't right. That's what everyone else is doing. That's what all your customers, also all your competitors are doing. So here's a number 1 rule in marketing. I need you to write this down because it's really relevant for you to move forward. Do not tell customers what you do. Write that down for me, please. Really important. Do not tell customers what you do. Tell customers what they get out of what you do. Tell customers what they get out of what you do. Your marketing is about making a neuro-emotive connection with your clients or customers. You need to understand exactly what solution you're going to solve, or what problem you're going to solve for them with your solution, how it affects them emotionally. Emotionally. So you need to understand what pain your customers are in right now and how can you solve that pain. What your customers want to get to, where is that next thing they want to achieve, and how can you solution that? And you need to make it real for them. This is what you're going to experience through my product or service, not what we do. I agree you need to find out customers' needs. I understand that. But you need to emotionally connect with them. And you also have to overcome objections at the earliest opportunity. And that's one of the 3 hacks. So hack number 1, or groundbreaking strategy number 1 is don't tell customers what you do, tell them what you get out of what you do. So go back and look at your marketing. And if your marketing right now is just simply telling customers what you do, stop it. Attach the emotional benefit for what they'll get out of that. Everyone's asking what's in it for me, but not from a logical standpoint, from an emotional standpoint. So go back and look at your marketing. Groundbreaking strategy number 1. Groundbreaking strategy number 2. I want you to think of your 5 biggest frustrations that your target market has with your industry, not with your company. What's the 5 biggest frustrations they have? Let's think of a plumber. If you're a plumber, I know there's none in the call today, but if you were hiring a plumber, you would want them to turn up on time. You'd want to clear up the mess. You'd want to make sure that they did what they said they were going to do, when they said they were going to do it, and the way they said they were going to do it. And that's what everyone wants from you. There's probably 4 or 5 things you would be a bit trepid about or fearful about if you were trying to hire a plumber in your house. If you can think what those 5 frustrations are and market them, you're already overcoming your customers' objections. You're already overcoming them. Groundbreaking strategy number 3. I think I already mentioned it, but what would you have to do with your customer service for your customers to say, why would I go anywhere else? That experience I talked about earlier, get really clear in that experience. So 3 bonus groundbreaking strategies. Okay, let's go through this very quickly. This is LinkedIn digital marketing. Guys, I'm going to give you an overview. I'm really sorry that I can't go into any more depth, but there's 2 things you do in social media. It's digital marketing. 2 things you do in social media. Most people just try to build followers. And they get an ego boost when they get a like, they get a share, they get a this or that thing. Look, you can build followers. I'm not saying don't build followers, but how can you use LinkedIn to create professional selling? So the first thing is, it's your target market. How do you source your target market on LinkedIn? Your ideal customer. How do you source them? We use Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator is a LinkedIn function. It's £70 per month. Perhaps you can't afford that right now, but don't just try to get everyone to follow you. Make sure you're trying to get target market customers to follow you. You can do that organically without Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator helps a great deal to source your target market, if you know what they are, of course. And then you're doing at least 3 posts a week. At least 3 posts a week on LinkedIn. I don't do any posts. My sales team does my posts. They just send it to me for approval. And that's warming them up. So before we go any further, I've got a really important question. What is the biggest, and it could be LinkedIn, I don't know, but what do you think is the biggest app in the world? What's the most used app in the world? Type in the chat box. What is the most used app in the world right now? The biggest used app in the world. What do you think it is? Type in the chat box really quickly. YouTube, yeah. It's big, Robert, it's big. Who else? Any other takers? What's the biggest used app in the world? TikTok. Yeah. YouTube. Okay, I need you to understand they pale in significance towards this in comparison to this app. I can even bring Facebook and LinkedIn to that. They pale into insignificance to this app. The app I'm talking about is email. You open tons of email every day, far more than you look at LinkedIn. Email is still the biggest used app in the world. So you need to create a process of turning your posts into getting them onto an email sequence, getting them onto your database. There's GDPR ways you can do that very professionally. But you need to start building that email database. If you haven't built an email database already, start building it. But in LinkedIn, how do I get sales on LinkedIn was the question. You need to convert your posts into an email sequence. And trust me, there's very simple ways to do that. And then you need to invite them to a meeting. You need to build that up, build that trust up, build that certainty up, build that confidence up, make sure they understand your solution, what they'll get out of it, and then you can invite them to a meeting. Or you can invite them into your shop, or you can invite them into your factory, or whatever that is for you. You know, you can invite them online for a Zoom call, whatever that is for you, whatever the outcome is to convert your prospect, you can do that. And if they're not ready yet, you bring them onto a long-term email sequence. You keep in touch with them. And then you offer them. No is never no. No is always not yet. If it's your target market, it's not yet. And you'll understand that when you see this next slide. Only 3% of your target market is ready to buy right now. 6% are completely problem unconscious. They don't even realize they have a problem because they're too fixated in all the other problems that they have. So your job through marketing is to get that 97% up the pyramid. That's what you really need to do. Getting that 3% over social media is like finding a needle in a haystack. Trust me. You need to get that other 97% up the pyramid. And you can do that over a short period of time. You just have to educate them on how your solution solves their problem emotionally. Does that make sense to everyone? That's the goal. Get them up the pyramid. Not just, I met someone at a networking meeting. As important as that is because they can refer you, you have to balance that by finding your target market on LinkedIn and getting them up the pyramid. I'm not going to go into, I don't have time to go into the systems we use, but you know, we can, guys. These are the systems we use within Business Academy, but it's really important to understand the concept of what you have to do. So here's an example of a high impact marketing, a high value marketing. And this is one that I've used in the past. Finally, how to get a far better, more profitable business without the sheer stress of it all in less time, guaranteed. Guaranteed. It's an example of attention grabbing headline that will allow people to say, okay, you've got my attention, but you've only got a few seconds to do. How can I then move on? So does everyone get their cameras available? Can I ask if everyone's got their cameras available? Or you can do, does everyone know how to print the screen? So Alt print screen. I want you to take a picture of this. Or I want you to print the screen. Alt print screen. We'll take a snapshot of the screen right now. And I want you to fill this in at a later date, as soon as you can today. Finally, how to get the desired result that your customers want without their biggest pain in what time frame guaranteed. So to get clarity over your marketing message, at least to start getting clarity, I want you to fill that out. Take a picture of the screen, take a snapshot. There you go, someone's done it. Well done, Damon. So again, everyone know to copy the notes or open that up and copy what Damon's just done. So marketing, ladies and gents, is every bit of contact your business has with the outside world. Whether it's your team member on a pub on a Friday night, or whatever it is, it's every bit of contact your business has with the outside world. And you need to get clarity on, remember, what you want others to tell us about you. That's how important it is. Okay, Facebook. This is a very, very simple Facebook automation. If you want clients and automation, this is how you get them. You start off with one ad, and in Business Academy, help you create that ad. We'll then leverage your other social medias, and we'll leverage all of your email database if you have one. And what we're doing is we're driving them to one landing page, not a web page. Web pages are ancient. You need sales landing. They're not ancient. They're good for credibility. But what you have to create is lead generation landing pages. So we drive everyone to a lead generation landing page on Facebook through ads, through Facebook ads. Every single business that I'm aware of on the call today should be on Facebook ads. Do LinkedIn, but Facebook ads will get you consistent clients. So we're going to pay for Facebook ads. That's £1 a day to £5 a day to, I spend £2,000 a month on Facebook ads. And that's on top of what I spend in the sales and marketing company. £2,000 a month I spend in Facebook ads. 22 leads a day is what I get through that. So we're going to drive everyone to this landing page. And in that landing page, you're going to give them a high value gift, a PDF of how pure roasters are, the, you know, what the blend is, something. This is how you should tell a good coffee or a bad coffee. This is, you know, for Richard, this is how you should, the 10 questions to ask before you employ a business coach. For Jason, you know, here's the 10 things you need to really ask your clients before you employ an IT company or a telecommunications company. Something that will give you high value. And then you've captured their details. You've then captured their details. And then through, again, email marketing, you can drive them towards some kind of call with you or a meeting with you and then into a sale. It's very, very simple. It's not simple to set up, guys, but we help you set that up. But that's, if you want to generate leads while you sleep and you want to leverage your sales and marketing, this is where you have to get to with digital marketing. Does that make sense to everyone? I know it sounds okay, there's a lot in there. There is, but we can help you with that. Okay, sales process. Very quickly, who has a documented sales process? Hands up if you have a documented sales process. Great. Every single person in the call needs to have a documented sales process. And that has to have client touch points. You need at least 7. If you're a one call closer, in other words, if your business closes from one meeting or attracting one customer to your service, you need at least 7 client touch points before they may be willing to sell. There's only 3 reasons people don't buy from you. 3 reasons and 3 reasons alone. They don't have confidence, certainty, and trust in you or your salespeople. They don't have trust, confidence, and certainty in your product or service. Or they don't have trust, confidence and certainty in your business based on your reputation. If it's your target market, that's only 3 reasons they don't sell. You need to build trust. And again, trust is a psychology. Confidence and certainty. If you go in with certainty, certainty is the key to build trust, but there's other elements involved. So you need a documented sales process. Again, I'm sorry I can't get through it today, but you need that. Okay, guys, these are the 5 things. These are the 5 things we promise you. And I know we started a bit late, and I know we're running probably 5 minutes over. I'm going to go whirlwind through these, but it's really important to understand these are the areas that you need to look at to increase your profitability. And it's sales and marketing. Hands up who wants more profits next year. Hands up who wants more profits. Okay, you need to understand these elements. And the first thing I need you to do is to start testing and measuring these elements. Okay. Now, in our Business Academy, we take you through the profit multiplier. We also take you through the wealth creation system. And that's learning how to invest for personal wealth through your current business. Anyway, so profit multiplier. These are the 4 things most businesses out there measure. They're measuring right now. They measure the number of leads they get. They're measuring the amount of customers that they get from that type of marketing and the many customers they have. They measure the turnover they have, and they measure their gross profits and net profits. But this is we're working above the gross profit line here. Working below the gross profit line will save you pennies. Working above the gross profit line will make you pounds. Your choice. You should be saving pennies. You need to focus above the gross profit. Even below the gross profit line is your expenses, and above the gross profit line is your cost of doing business. So these are all outputs. Every one is an output. They are key result indicators. You need to understand what things input to create those outputs. What are the inputs that actually create that result for you? And here they are. You need to understand your prospect conversion rate. If you've got a prospect, it's target market, how you converting them into a lead, and how you converting those leads into a customer. This is pure maths, and I'll show you in a minute. And then you need to look at your service. What is your average value sale, and how can you professionally upsell or downsell that customer? How can you increase your average value sale? And one way to do that is just tell your customers every other service that you provide. Most of your customers right now, I guarantee, are oblivious to other services that you provide. And then margins. So let me start with margins. Margins create profit. If you are selling something, you need to understand your margins. If you've got 5 or 6 different services, you need to understand which one of those services or products provide the biggest margin, and that's the one you want to promote most. The others, of course, you may want to promote, but it's that one you need to sell the most. That's what's going to increase your profitability. That informs your marketing. Understanding your margin mix informs your marketing. Now, it's cool if you've only got one product or service. I'm fine with that. We can maximize that potential. But let me show you this. Your product or service costs you £10 to deliver to a customer. Let's say £100 to deliver to a customer. £100. But it costs you £6. And that's because you have to pay for material, you have to pay for your rent, your heat, everything else. You have to pay for that. It's cost you £6. How much profit are you making? £4. Yep. What margin are you making? You're making 40%. You're making 40%. If you're selling it for £100 and you make £40, you get 40% margin. Easy maths. Here's what most people are doing out there. They are discounting. They are saying, I'll give you 10% off. There you go, 10% off. What's that doing to your margins? So you get 40% margin. You're giving £10 off, 10% off. You've reduced your margin by 25%. You've reduced your turnover by 10%. You've reduced your margin by 25%. If you're discounting, you need to build it into your sales activity. So margins are really, really important. It's part of your sales process. It informs your marketing and your sales process. Okay. This is a customer attraction system. How do you build a customer attraction system through your marketing? I've shared some ideas on that. A customer approval system is overcoming objections. You should already be doing that in your marketing. So it's easy to overcome objections. Your customer retention system is all about that customer experience. How can I turn my customers into my best salespeople and get them to promote me everywhere? So during business, so let's quickly go through the numbers. Damon, I'm okay for time. I've got 10 minutes left. Okay. So it does not matter, guys, if these numbers relate to you. These are just fixational numbers, and you can do anything with numbers. But the methodology, the mathematical methodology, is true. So you've got 4,000 prospects over the course of 1 year, let's say, and you convert 50% of those prospects into leads. So you've got 2,000 leads. You all wish you could do that, but let's say you've got 2,000 leads, keeping it easy. You convert 50% of those leads you wish into customers. So you now have 1,000 customers over that year. They're each paying you £150 for whatever it is you're selling them. And each of those customers buy from you twice in that year. So your turnover is £300,000. Doesn't matter the numbers, guys. You need to plug your own numbers into this. But it's £300,000, simple mathematics. Then your gross margin is 50%. So you've made 150% gross profits, from which you have to pay your expenses, and then you're left with your net profits. Yeah, simple maths. And Business Academy, what we do is we help you increase each one of these input areas. Now, you cannot learn how to run a business. You must experience running a business. So Business Academy is all about you experiencing putting these strategies in place with our support. Learning them is only knowledge. Real true knowledge comes from implementing what you've learned, and that's what Business Academy is all about. So, can I just for a quick thumbs up, is it possible if you focus in these input areas to increase each one of those by 5 or 10% over the course of a year? Can I have a thumbs up? Does everyone think, I'm not being unrealistic? Oh, 5 or 10%. Okay, let's look at what that does. So you've got 4,200 customers, prospects. Your conversion rate is now 55%. So you now have 2,200 leads. You convert 55% of them, and you've got 1,270 customers. Again, 150 is now your average value sale, as we've went back and communicated with people, your number of sales per customer. We've went back and educated them in everything else we do, so that's went up. And you then have, a significant increase in your turnover and your gross profits. Now, everyone you believe we should at least have an additional 5 to 10% increase in profits and turnover? Yes, because we've increased each area by 5 or 10%. So therefore, we must have 5 to 10% better profits. Agree? Yeah. Hell no. Hell no. We've increased our profits by 42%. And we've increased our turnover by 42%, and we've increased our gross profit by 54%. Assuming we haven't done anything below the gross profit line, that we're out and buy new vans or bring on new people, and you should do that, but that's going straight to the bottom line. So you need to get clarity. These are the 5 areas that your sales and marketing have to measure, including margins. We talked about margins. You need to get real clarity over, how your conversion rate for your prospects to your leads, conversion rate to your customers, how you educate people on what else you do to increase your average value sale, how you increase your number of transactions from those customers, get referrals. So these are all areas. There's probably 50 to 60 strategies in each one of those areas that you can pick to focus on over the course of a year. Does that make sense, guys? These are the 5 key areas. 5 key areas for you to do that. Okay, Michael, I had to drop off. Thanks, Michael. Alrighty, here's my health warning. Out there, every business is suffering from a pandemic. And, globally, we've been very used to pandemics for the last few years. For many, many, many years, every business, or most businesses, 95% at least, are suffering from this plague that's going on in the world. The plague is called FTI. FTI. Does anyone know what FTI stands for? If you know, type it in chat. FTI. Let me tell you. It stands for failure to implement. Failure to implement is the #1 reason businesses don't succeed. So guys, please make sure you don't fail to implement. The benefit of Business Academy is We keep you accountable. We take you through that journey. But regardless, don't suffer FDI. Bottom line, if what you're doing right now is not going to get you where you want to go, something needs to change. It's time to act. So in Business Academy, these are the areas we take you through. A huge amount of areas. I'm not going to focus on them too much. We've got 3 levels within Business Academy. Most people in this call are around Thrive level. That means you're growing your business. I want to get my business to 10x where it is now. Freedom level is all about exiting your business. So bigger businesses that are ready to exit, that's where they are. Most in this call are around Thrive level. Now what we're doing is we have it's created a collaboration partnership with Damon and the Dumbartonshire Chamber of Commerce. So we're going to be running a Thrive level Business Academy. It's over the course of a year, 1 workshop per month, and then you get access to our online programs, and we support you through the online programs. Step by step, what do I need to do? So we're going to be running those workshops once a month within the Dumbartonshire Chamber. We're not yet sure if we're running them via Zoom or we're running them live somewhere in Dumbartonshire. We're working with Damon on that. But what you're going to get after this, you're going to get an email from me with an opportunity to say, yes, I'm interested. Yes, I am interested in finding out more if I can grow my business through Business Academy. And then I'll offer you a 10 to 15 minute call personally where we can focus on one of your challenges to get to where you want. But you must respond to that email. Under GDPR, I have your emails, guys. You agreed to allow me to have your emails. So on behalf of the Chamber, I will email you that stuff and we'll start in that journey. And Damon will announce very shortly, hopefully, what we're going to do with Business Academy. I'm not going to go through any more. I'm going to just open up to questions that you might have. Here's a look inside some of the online programs. But what questions, guys? Do you have any questions based on today? I know we started a bit late. Very, very quickly, the Business Academy course is CIM accredited. So you are accredited to the Chartered Management Institute. You can get it level 5. It takes a little bit more work. But you can become a Chartered Manager to level 5, or you can get a level 3 certificate. And it's free, it's guaranteed. We will guarantee you 300% return on investment, and we're going to give you your money back. No questions asked. As long as you do what you said you were going to do, we'll give you your money back. If I gave you £30 and asked you to buy it for £10, would you do it? Would anyone give me £10 to gain £30? Yes or no? Of course you would. Of course you would. That's what we got. So more to come. I hope you enjoyed today, but is there any quick questions? I know we'll only have a few minutes, but is there any quick questions? Either come on with your mic or you can...
Derek, just to say
yes,
thank you very much for that. Very succinct and some really, really good points made. I particularly like the phrase, turn your best customers into the best salespeople, and how referrals are so important. We're working on certain aspects of what you've discussed, but it helps clarify for business owners and managers that are really busy on a day-to-day basis what they need to refocus on.
Yes.
And I think what you discussed today is really, really important. So it's a brilliant refresher. So I really, really appreciate it. It's been really valuable. So just no questions, just wanted to give you some feedback.
Thank you. I'm so pleased you get some value, Jason.
Thank you.
That's the aim. That's the aim.
I
Could you have a copy of your key? Yes. I'll send everyone. Here's what I'll do. I'll send everyone a call today onto a short program about how to multiply your profits. I'll give you free access to a profit multiplier program. How does that sound?
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. Appreciate that.
We'll get that. Any other questions?
I was just going to add to what Jason was saying, really, in terms of the value of this. And I guess just to highlight, exactly what you're saying, the guarantee, of course, everyone, if you could, if you give you a tenner for £30. So I think it's just to reiterate that, and to kind of just over time, really having sort of been sort of worked with partners on these sort of things, and individuals who run, coaching businesses and consultancy businesses, the difference between taking information and trying to do it by yourself, I think, without the support and accountability, is like chalk and cheese. So, in terms of some of the entry level, elements that we're going to be looking at with Derek, this is a no-brainer to me, which is why I've sort of keen to develop that partnership over this year, and just the accountability and the knowledge and the resources. That's what makes you do that. That's what changes the putting something in your to-do list or in your cupboard or in a filing cabinet and never seeing it again, or looking at it in 12 months saying, oh, I should have done that, shouldn't I, and forgetting it, to actually doing something. It's that slide that you covered earlier, which is about the inaction, which I think that's a really powerful slide, because that's there are serial kind of attendees of webinars and networking events, and I think they spend all their time going to these things and none of their time actually doing anything as a result of them. So I think I just wanted to highlight that, because that really sticks out as a powerful way forward.
Appreciate that, David. And the great thing is, look, Business Academy's been running for 12 years. With hundreds of businesses through it. So every challenge you've ever had has already been solved by one of our members. And I'll share my website and you can go on and read 1,000 testimonials. Usually people ask me what the shovel is behind me. No one's asked me what the shovel is behind me. It's the biggest objection that we get to our business. And the problem is, most people are focused too much on the price of the shovel when we're digging a gold mine. You can dig a gold mine in your business, guys, but you have to invest. Don't be concerned about the price of the shovel. Anyway, thank you very much for allowing me to share my passion over the last hour for coaches and trainers. We offer opportunities for you guys to get involved in our business as well and run some of these yourselves. So there's massive opportunities for everyone involved. I really sincerely thank you very much for allowing me to share my passion with you.
Okay, I'd like to just thank you, Derek, for putting the time aside and